Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. It's been kind of crazy lately, but I just got a parcel of fish, so I thought we'd open them up, acclimate them, and I can update you guys on where all the tanks are currently at. So let's get started. So these fish are from Live Fish. There you go, if you haven't heard of them before. This is typically the store I go to where I'm just looking to restock. I'm not looking for anything particularly fancy, just something that's a bit more of a staple fish. And heat pack's still warm, which is good because it's getting a bit cool down here lately. And all the fish are looking really, really good actually. That's awesome. Cool. So I'm gonna put these guys in their tanks, let them acclimate to the correct temperature. And while we're waiting on that, I can give you guys a quick tour and a quick update of everything. So let's start off with one of the tanks that's getting some new inhabitants. This is the Paludarium. It's a 3-foot tank filled about halfway with water. It's got some terrarium plants and aquarium plants and a little waterfall feature in the back. It currently houses a bunch of sparkling gouramis and some coolie loaches, but lately I barely see either of them. The problem with this tank is it's so densely planted and it's got so many caves and hiding spaces in the back that it's not unusual for me not to find my fish in this tank. The coolie loaches I'm not too concerned about because there's heaps of areas for them to dig and hide, so I don't really expect them to come out. But the sparkling gourami, I have a few theories. The first one is they're small fish. There's a good chance that they've just perished and I haven't found them, which in a tank like this is very possible. What's strange about this one is when I have fish die in a tank, I do usually see at least one body and I haven't seen a single one. That being said, there should be I think there's about 10 sparkling gouramis in here and I usually see maybe 3 max at a time. There's also been one sparkling gourami that is very flashy and very aggressive. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's picked off some of the competition for the females. But due to how this tank is planted, it's also likely that they could just be hiding in the back. There's heaps of little water pools and such all the way back in this corner, and I wouldn't even know they're there. The big male has actually just come out to say hi to the new inhabitants. So because of that, I thought we'd run a little test and see how it goes. I've restocked with some sparkling gouramis. I've got 6 new ones to see if we can encourage the existing ones to come out to the front so we can see them more. And if that doesn't work, I'm at least hopeful that the addition of more is going to help with the aggression of that one male. So that's where we're at with this tank. And then we have this monster of a tank. This is my 4-foot axolotl aquarium that currently has no axolotl in it. I have been dying to get part 2 out of this video, but I've just been struggling so much to actually get an axolotl. The problem is there's a particular color of axolotl that I want. I believe it's called a copper xanthic. I also wouldn't mind something like a blue Lucy instead. I've found these in stock, but whenever I've inquired about them, I don't get a reply. That being said, one shop in particular that I have been inquiring with has undergone some website changes, so I'm wondering if the emails have just gotten lost in all the chaos. So I will need to try and get in contact with them again or someone else. But so far I'm just kind of struggling, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It is giving this tank some extra time for the plants to get situated into the sand, so it's a little bit harder for the axolotl when it eventually comes to dig them up, or at least dislodge them. But then while I'm waiting on an axolotl, I'm also not looking after this tank as much as I should. The sand is in desperate need of a vacuum, and some of the duckweed up the top is dying and falling off and almost looking like string algae. This tank needs a big clean. I really haven't had the time. It's still getting its weekly water changes and all, but in a tank like this, it's really not enough to keep it looking pretty and spick and span. I've also received a bunch of hitchhikers of ram's horn snails that have just come off the plants from my other tanks. I was hoping to avoid them, but it's kind of inevitable. There are still some ghost shrimp in here that we put in from that order that went horribly wrong. Not as many as I would like to see, but they are kind of hard to spot too, so maybe there's more than what I can find. So yes, part 2 of the axolotl build is coming. as soon as I find an axolotl, but it is on my list. The next tank we have is probably my favorite tank. This is the saltwater clownfish tank, where you guys would have seen recently we put in some more zoas. The zoas are doing amazingly, and the clownfish actually really love them. I think this rock just provides them with a little bit of extra cover from the front, and they're always hanging out here now. It's really cute to see. You guys might remember that one of the frags had a multitude of different green and orange zoas on it. Those different zoas actually fell off the frag at some point, and they're just sitting down here. My plan was to glue them back onto the rock somewhere, but they're actually kind of doing pretty well down there, surprisingly. So I'm just giving them a little bit longer to see if they latch onto the rock. And if they don't, maybe I'll move them. Otherwise, I'm kind of hoping they just latch on themselves. This tank also needs a bit of a tidy. The sand's actually pretty good for once, but I am starting to get some extra algae coming up the top. But besides from looking a little ugly, it's not really a concern for me. I'm also seeing some movement with the morphs, the new one that was at the front, slightly going into a more shaded area, which is a surprise to me. But otherwise, the new lights have been absolutely fantastic, and I'm even seeing the peppermint shrimp come out more and more. I've also been seeing some breeding behavior from the clownfish. Not expecting baby clowns, but it would be cool if they pair off nicely. So that's where this one's at. As for the shrimp tank, there's nothing too exciting going on with this one. The shrimp are just still doing really well. The tank grows like mad and I have to trim it so much all the time. When we first started this tank, we got a skittle mix, so we had some blue cherry shrimp, yellows and reds. Now we've pretty much just got reds and yellows and a couple of like clear and wild type looking ones. So it's kind of cool to see how the generations have changed the coloration. But they're all doing wonderfully and they're just fantastic to watch. I have noticed that the air pump is like getting a little bit clogged, I'd say. I don't usually use air pumps, but I feel like that's probably an indication that I need to change it over, which I do have a spare. I just need to like move the hardscape in order to get to it. But yeah, this one has just been no trouble whatsoever and I absolutely love it. So now we have the last tank on the list, the angelfish tank. These guys have been absolutely amazing. One thing that's completely shocked me is this one right here. He used to be the size of the platinum. I thought they were the same age, but look how much bigger he's gotten. He's actually now the most dominant. I thought that either Leaf or Acheron were going to be the most dominant, but it's Fledgion, so that's kind of crazy. Acheron's actually like backed off heaps since he got bigger. This tank has definitely seen some rough transitions. This was the one that was hit the hardest by those iffy shipments of fish. A big thing to note is I lost all of the Corydoras, like they are gone. I found the corpses of 2 and there was 6. So not sure exactly what happened to them, to be honest, considering I also lost almost all of the cardinal tetras. I think something was hunting them down. I've had issues in the past with the pleco. The pleco used to take on betters. So it wouldn't completely shock me if it was the pleco, even though I don't see them too often. But I think it's more likely that the angelfish were just trying to control their territory. That being said, the last 3 tetras in this tank have been going strong for a month or so now, maybe 2. And there's been no aggression and no issues whatsoever with these last 3. So I felt like it was time to try and introduce some new tank mates and see how they go. The first thing I wanted to do was to stock up the numbers of the cardinal tetras. I'm hoping the angels and the pleco are not going for them anymore, but I did feel that 3 was just too little to have together. They seem to be behaving nicely, but it just doesn't feel like a big enough school to me that they can feel safe in. And then I wanted to try another type of schooling fish that has had better luck in the fish keeping community with angelfish, and that is the cherry barb. I have noticed that the ones that they've given me are really tiny. So we'll see how these go. They may end up as a snack. I'm of half a mind to keep them out of this tank for a little bit just to grow them out, but I don't really have another spot I can put them. Like maybe the shrimp tank, but then getting them out of the shrimp tank would be a pain. And the same with the paludarium. And the axolotl tank is just way too cold for them. So I think we might just need to try them in here and hope that they're quick enough and that there's enough hiding spots for them to grow up. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. But otherwise, this tank's going really well. The plants grow so large every single week. I have to trim them. There's plenty of hiding spots. The angelfish can go all the way to the back if they want to break from everyone else. And I do find they hide out in the corners as well, which is a nice shady spots in the tank. The tetras just go wherever they want. They're usually in the middle or around the back, but yeah, they use the entire tank as well, which is really cool to see. In terms of growth, I've mentioned Fledgion. The other two haven't gotten too big at all. The Platinum is so gritty when it comes to food that he's looking a bit chubby at the moment. But otherwise, they're all doing really well and I'm quite happy. But I think we're just about ready to release these fish. I think I'm going to start with the Paludarium. And hopefully these ones do not become a snack. I'm sure they'll be fine. Hopefully. Hope so. We'll see. Alrighty, let's start with these sparkling gourami. They are already looking super feisty. I've seen at least 2 of the inhabitants of the tank come out to meet them. And the snails are sticking to them. Go away. I do have 6, right? Yeah, we got 6. There's 2 of them that are really small. But hopefully they'll be okay. I think we'll try and use the smaller one for these guys, because the bigger one's just a little bit tricky to fit in the tank. Depending on the fish, sometimes I'll drip acclimate them. I actually don't have time to do that today, but I found these guys to be pretty hardy in my experience, so we should be okay. All right, the tricky part. I'm gonna try and do them all at once. Come on, get out. Come on. One got stuck. All right. Here we go. Everybody out. Oh, immediately most of them went to the back of the tank. Immediately. But there's a few coming to the front. We've got about 4 that are... oh no, we've got all 6 that have come out. Maybe it was the older inhabitants that have disappeared. They're looking a little shy and shocked from the trip, but otherwise doing okay. We'll check back on them in a little bit. I might turn those lights down just to get them a little bit used to their new surroundings. I really love seeing the gouramis in this tank. They always take to it so well. Hopefully we'll get some chirping again soon. All right, on to the next one. The angelfish have begun to lose interest in them, so hopefully it's a good sign, but we're going to start with the cardinals anyway. So we've got 5 of these guys. Again, I might see if we can use the smaller net. Need sharper scissors. Okay. Put these guys in. Don't you do it. Fledgion's just getting a little close, so I'm like, fuck off. There's still one in here. Come on. There you go. Nope, back off. There's so much duckweed in this tank. Did we get them all? I think so. Hopefully they go well. Now for the one I'm most worried about. And I actually might pop them into the tank, like, go away, near the back, I think. Just to give them a bit more security when they go in. Yeah, I'm gonna put them back there. All right. because I know the cardinals seem to be a bit dazed whenever I put them in. So they can take a while to realize that, you know, these are big fish. I'm hoping these guys are more alert than the cardinals. And I think we got 6 of these cherry barbs. Okay, that's all of them out. Don't you jump out. Okay. Come on. Out you go. There's 2 more still in there. Come on. Wrong way, bud. There you go. I think that's all. Yep. Excellent. Those guys are looking quite good. They're actually already getting colourful. Or don't you do it, Acheron. Don't you do it. I'm going to interrupt you. Don't you do it too. What I might do is I might feed them now. And see if that helps them not see them as food. Because it does look like they're seeing them as food. Ah, the joys of having a community tank. Looks like all of them except for Acheron are going for the food, but Acheron's not really going for the new inhabitants, so we're good. The barbs are kind of schooling with the cardinals a little bit. That's cool to see. Oh, nope. Cardinal decided he didn't want them there. Well, all the new inhabitants are now in the tanks and seem to be settling in nicely. And this shall be an interesting experiment to see what is actually going to be compatible in this tank. Before, I've had these 4 angelfish. I've never kept angelfish before, so it's always interesting to get a new fish and try and work out what works and what doesn't. I'm really hoping this works though. I think the cardinals should be okay. I'm a little worried about the size of the cherry barbs, but hopefully they grow quickly and are quick enough and smart enough to not have any issues in this tank. But that's all for this one. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sadly, my YouTube schedule's taking a bit of a hit as life gets really hectic at the moment, but I'm hoping that means I can bring out more high quality videos just at a lesser frequency. But I really enjoyed this one and I hope you did too. And it'll be interesting to see how these tanks go in the future. But well guys, I hope you have a wonderful night or day wherever you may be, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys.